Have you ever struggled in prayer? Maybe you've sat alone in silence, staring at the ceiling or holding your hands together, but no words would come out. Maybe you've whispered the same request to God again and again, wondering, Lord, do you hear me? Do you see what I'm going through? If you've ever felt that way, you are not alone. Every believer, no matter how strong in faith, goes through seasons where prayer feels dry, heavy, or even pointless. But here's the hope. God never leaves us in that struggle. His word gives us strength and direction when we feel weak. Today, we'll reflect on three powerful scriptures: Jeremiah 33 verse 3, Philippians 4 verses 6 to 7, and 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17, and discover how they help us when prayer feels difficult. Let's begin with Jeremiah 33 verse 3. God says, "Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." This verse is like God himself leaning down and saying, "Just call me. I am here. I am listening." Notice he doesn't say, "If you pray perfectly, I'll answer," or "If you never doubt, then I'll respond." No, he simply invites us to call on him. That means even our broken, wordless prayers matter. Even our sighs and tears are prayers he understands. And here's the amazing part. God doesn't just promise to listen. He promises to answer. His answers may not always come in the way we expect, but often he reveals things far deeper, greater, and wiser than what we were asking for. Sometimes the struggle in prayer is God's way of pulling us closer, so we don't just seek answers. We seek him. Now let's look at Philippians 4 verses 6 to 7. Paul writes, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Think about that. How many times have we been so anxious that prayer feels impossible? Worry drowns out our words. Fear keeps us silent. But Paul tells us to bring everything, yes, everything, to God. Not just the big crises, but also the small daily frustrations, the quiet fears, the hidden pain. And here's the promise. When you do, God will give you peace. This peace is not the kind the world gives. It doesn't always remove the problem right away. Instead, it's a deep, unshakable calm that protects your heart and your mind like a shield. Prayer, then, is not only about changing your situation, it's about letting God change you. And then we hear the short but powerful command in 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17. Pray without ceasing. First, this sounds overwhelming. How can anyone pray without stopping? But this verse is not about speaking nonstop. It's about living with an open heart toward God all day long. It's about carrying him with you into every moment. You can pray while washing dishes, while driving to work, while sitting in silence. Prayer without ceasing means staying connected, like breathing. Even a sigh can be a prayer. Even a thought like, "Lord, help me," is a prayer. It's the awareness that God is always near, and you can talk to him anytime. So, what do these three verses teach us when we are struggling in prayer? They teach us that God hears us when we call, he offers peace when we surrender, and he invites us to remain close to him always. Struggling in prayer doesn't mean you are weak in faith, it means you are human. And in our weakness, God's strength is revealed. If prayer feels hard for you today, don't give up. Call to God as Jeremiah encourages. Just reach out. Release your worries to him as Philippians teaches. He will replace them with peace. And keep going as Thessalonians reminds us. Make prayer a rhythm of your life, not just a ritual. Remember, prayer is not only about us talking to God. It's also about God embracing us, comforting us, and transforming us. So keep praying even in the struggle. Because sometimes, the most powerful prayers are not the ones filled with many words, but the ones whispered from a weary heart that still chooses to believe. Thank you for watching. God bless.